This is Brian Urlacher, and make sure you tune in to Tailgate Talk with DC and Zay for your NFL talk on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
Welcome back to another episode of Zay Talks. And I have to say, this is a very important video. This is a generational saving video. I need my Cowboy fans to follow along with me. This might be a little longer than usual, but stick with me because this is so important that we cannot mess this up. We can't mess this up. And rather than arguing online with people all day long, which Lord knows I can do effortlessly all day long if I want to, my eyes just start to hurt at some point. But it gets to a point where I think to myself, I might as well just put this on a video and get it all out the way. And I'm just going to start dropping my video and replies. If anyone wants to argue with me about sports, especially the Cowboys, I'm just going to start dropping my videos and the replies because I'm starting to see the Cowboy fan base split up like oil and water. Okay. Now we're all in the same container, but it's oil and water. And we are separating like the left and the right for politics. And you want to know what those two sides are? Do we draft a running back in the first round or do we not draft a running back in the first round? And I'm here to say everyone who is saying or suggesting and putting out there into the atmosphere that Dallas should pass up on Ashton Jeanty, turning your credentials, return your jerseys, sell them, get rid of all your Cowboy stuff because you want to see us lose. You're one of the Joneses. You're one of the puppets, okay? You Rico Dowdle lovers saying, let's stick with Rico Dowdle because he ran for over 1,000 yards and, we need to build other areas of the team. You guys are the problem. And I'm not joking. You guys are the problem because Jerry Jones sees that and he thinks to himself, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I think. No, you guys are the problem. And I'm going to break it down to you real simple as to why there's no debate over who Dallas should go for in the first round. Absolutely no debate. Okay. Football 101. All right. I know you guys want a number 2 wide receiver. I understand you really want to get a receiver in the first round. Okay. As far as those guys saying draft a defensive tackle, draft an offensive lineman, or an edge rusher, I'm not even going to address you guys because I'm convinced you don't know football at all. I'm convinced you're just repeating what you hear on TV. Okay. Even though most of TV is on my side with this. And I'm glad that my content creators that I've been watching for years for the Cowboys, they're finally hopping on board as well. And they're starting to hop on board to the point where they're ready to make a push for this thing on social media as well. Okay, football 101. Why is the run game so important? You need to have a run game when you invest in your quarterback. Why? Because your running back, if he's dominant, he's going to take pressure off the quarterback. Okay. That's less times your quarterback has to throw. That is more yards that your quarterback does not have to pass for. And that is more opportunity for any run to go to the house. And that opens up play action. You know what happens when you can run play action? Guess what? Your receivers are more open. Your tight ends are more open. Your quarterback has easier throws. The clock runs, so you eat up more clock. You dominate the line of scrimmage, okay? You dominate the line of scrimmage. You dominate the time of possession. You break the will of a defense when you have a strong run game. Getting another receiver will just turn us into the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, they might be a playoff team, but I don't know about you guys. I have no interest in going to football games realizing that if we don't throw for 300 yards, we're not going to win. Okay, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that at all. All right? And if you're so convinced that drafting Ashton Jeanty does not help out Dak Prescott, I got some numbers for you. Newsflash. Dak Prescott is 12-29 when the Cowboys don't run for 100 yards. 12-29 when the Cowboys do not run for 100 yards. You want to know what his record is when we run for 100 yards? I want to make sure I double check here so I'm going to get fact checked because this video is getting posted under every response trying to debate this with me. Dak Prescott is 64-17 when we run for 100 yards. Let that sink in. 12-29 when we don't run for 100 yards. 64-17 when we run over 100 yards. And you've got people in this fan base saying, oh, times have changed. We don't need a run game. We need to get another receiver. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yes, a number 2 receiver would help. But last time I checked, with pretty much this same receiving core, a year ago, Dak Prescott should have won MVP. Dak Prescott was playing lights out. He was first in basically every single quarterbacking category with CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks and Turpin. Okay, that's what Dak Prescott did with our current receiving core. That's what Dak Prescott did with an offensive line that's not that much worse than it was in 2023. So we don't need to go get another receiver. We already have the receiving core we need. The reason our receiving core is not doing good is because coming into play Dallas, everyone knows Dak is going to have to pass this ball to beat us. We're going to make Dak have to beat us. Yes, Rico Dowdle, he might scamper for 100 yards sometimes, but there's a big difference in 100 yards and a guy that can home run hit the defense. When you have a running back that can take a 70-yard run to the house, like a Saquon Barkley, like a Derrick Henry, like rookie Zeke Elliott, R.I.P. Zeke. R.I.P. Zeke. My heart goes out to Zeke. What an awful story. What an awful story. But rookie Zeke, he was a home run hitter. When you have a home run hitter like Ashton Jeanty, okay, every single defender on the field has to stare at him for at least a second and a half after the ball is snapped to make sure he doesn't house it, okay? You grab the attention from everyone. Running for 1,000 yards in a season or getting over 100 yards rushing for multiple games is not enough, okay? It's not enough. We need a dominant running back. We need somebody that when you come in to play Dallas, you're saying to yourself, all right, how are we going to stop that running back and CeeDee Lamb? Once you have a defense having to pick their poison that way, you can really take advantage of things if you have good play calls, which Lord knows, after I just saw Mike McCarthy on a 3rd and 6 deep in our territory, he ran an HB draw. Of course, we don't get the first down. We punt to Philly. They score. We get the ball back. It's a 3rd and 1. And this time he throws deep. We call a pass play on 3rd and 1. And I'm thinking to myself, well, surely you call a pass on 3rd and 1, you're going to go for it on 4th down. No, he punted it. And the Eagles scored again. And that's when the game got out of hand. That's exactly what happened. 3rd and 6, you run it, punt. Next possession, 3rd and 1, you throw it, punt. Little things like that, those little empty possessions. How many times have we seen a healthy Cowboys offense go out there and waste possession? 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, just waiting on the defense to do something. Those days are over. Okay, that's stressful. It's irritating. It's frustrating. And it's not winning football. Okay, that's why McCarthy needs to be gone. But that's a whole nother category, a whole different subject to talk about. You get Ashton Jeanty back there. CeeDee Lamb will have his best year. Dak will have another great MVP season. Okay, Brandon Cooks is going to have better numbers. Jalen Tolbert will have better numbers. Everyone benefits from that, including our defense. Okay, including our defense. You think Micah Parsons likes being out there for 40 minutes out of the 60-minute game? Of course not. Of course not. We need somebody who can control the clock, move the chains. And I'm not saying to get rid of Rico, but you at least have to have some sort of we don't have a a trendsetter. We don't have a statement setter. We don't have anybody that sets the tone. A tone setter is the word I was looking for. Ashton Jeanty is a force. He's physical. He's explosive. He's elusive. Okay, all those things Dallas could use. Right now, Dallas has to be down 3 touchdowns before they decide, all right, let's wake up and get going because this might get out of hand. But guess what? You get Ashton Jeanty out there, first quarter, he comes down the middle and trucks a linebacker or has an explosive run. Guess what? Now the blood's pumping. Now the crowd's into it. Now psychologically, you're like, we're here. We belong here. We're here to play. Let's do what we do. And then you see the team play how they're supposed to play. We saw it with Ezekiel Elliott, okay? Back in the day, the Cowboys would not get going until Zeke got going. And then once Zeke had a big run or a first down, boom, everything started hitting. The crowd's into it, and mentally the other team is like, oh boy, here it comes. Here comes the montage of the Dallas Cowboys offense. We don't have that right now. And we need that right now. Going to get an offensive lineman is not going to fix the whole offensive line. Getting a defensive tackle is not going to fix the whole defensive line. Getting a cornerback is not going to just fix our pass defense. Those are all things that we need multiple solid players to fix. So what you're supposed to do in a situation like Dallas, and your team is built to run off play action. That's all Dak likes doing is play action rollouts. Play action rollouts. That's what he likes to do. So why not get a guy who we can run, play action pass. Run, play action pass. 10 play drives, 13 play drives, taking up 8 minutes at a time. That's the Cowboy team I want to see. The two best teams I've seen as a Cowboys fan was 2014 and 2016. 2023 was great and all, but 2014 and 2016, both of those teams would have beat the brakes off the 2023 Dallas Cowboys. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. They would have beaten those guys. And both of those teams had an 1,800-yard rusher, DeMarco Murray. The other one had rookie Ezekiel Elliott, who ran for 1,600 yards. And both of those guys, I believe Murray won Offensive Player of the Year, and Zeke should have won it. That's just the fact. Like, and we're sitting here and we're constantly trying to make excuses and doing the Jerry Jones method where it's like, oh, we're going to get this guy or let's do this. And we got some young guys in there. No, none of that. Let's stop the delusion. Okay. That's literally insanity. You're sitting there and you're buying it. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. If Rico Dowdle was the answer, we would be able to see he was the answer. It wouldn't be a question. It wouldn't be a doubt. You wouldn't have to convince yourself. You guys are cool with a 1,000-yard rusher. Oh, okay. We don't need to draft a running back. We already got a guy. No, we don't. Do you think a defense right now is worried about Rico Dowdle? Do you think a defense coming in to play Dallas is like, oh, boy, yeah, we got to stop CeeDee Lamb, but watch out for Rico Dowdle? No, they're not. They're just not. If Ashton Jeanty is back there, they're like, hold on. This guy can break any run to the house. So we need to watch him. We need to play up on him. And then guess what that does? CeeDee Lamb. Boop. Brandon Cooks. Boop. Jake Ferguson. Boop. Turpin. Boop. And even some Rico Dowdle can still get some action. He doesn't have to leave. But this notion that we don't need Ashton Jeanty is insane to me. And then look at some more stats here. People are trying to tell me that the run game is not important and that times have changed. Well, take a look at this. The top 5 rushers in the NFL: Saquon, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs. 4 out of those top 5 guys are playoff teams. In the top 2, Saquon and Derrick Henry, they're carrying their teams. So tell me again how the run game's not that important. In 2007, Adrian Peterson was drafted as 7th pick. Oh, they ran the ball more. Times were different. Wrong. The leading rusher in the NFL in 2007, 1,400 yards. 1,400 yards. Saquon's at 2,000. Derrick Henry's at 1,700. And the leading rusher in 2007 was 1,400 yards. And you guys are here to tell me that the run game is no longer relevant? You don't know ball. You don't know ball at all. Saquon Barkley, Super Bowl contender. Derrick Henry, Super Bowl contender. Josh Jacobs, could be. Guess who's right below Josh Jacobs? Jahmyr Gibbs. And you're telling me the run game's not important? You're telling me Dallas is in need to get a running back? And I understand your response of, yeah, no, but just running backs in the first round are not a good idea. Sometimes it is. Okay, sometimes it is. Last year was not a good time to do that. This year, we got to go get this guy. We got to go get this guy. Every single person who even puts out into the air, no, we have bigger needs than a running back. I'm convinced you are a disciple sent by the Philadelphia Eagles. Because Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, they want reasons to repay Rico Dowdle and not go get another running back. They want reasons to do that. If you don't believe it, look at the last offseason. If these guys cared at all about getting a running back, we'd have one right now. But what they're doing is they are the parents that don't want to get rid of the old couch because they love it so much. And they pick that couch out. But it's got cracks in it. It's got bed bugs. It's got all these things. No, I don't want to. Let's just stick this out until it doesn't work anymore. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We're talking about 64-17. I don't care about any of the other teams or any of the other guys you want to go off of. Oh, this team did this team did that. Okay, you tell me what their quarterback record is when they don't run for 100 yards. Because Joe Burrow, I bet his record is phenomenal when they don't run for 100 yards. I bet he's got a great record. Dak Prescott doesn't. He's 12-29. When Dak does not have a 100-yard rusher, he's 12-29. I'm going to pull up this list here just to really bury this argument. Oh, how many guys were drafted in the first round and it was a mistake? Well, let me tell you where I'm leaning with this. I think Jeanty's generational. I think Jeanty could be a Hall of Famer. I think this guy is elite. He's different. He's like Derrick. He gives me Derrick Henry vibes, but I think he's faster than Derrick Henry and he's quicker than Derrick Henry. And obviously he's younger. Do these names ring a bell to you? Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, Bo Jackson, LaDainian Tomlinson, Marshall Faulk, Gale Sayers, Adrian Peterson, Eric Dickerson, Tony Dorsett, Hall of Famers. All those guys were in the first round. So just imagine in 2007 if the Vikings sat back and said, yeah, this guy looks good, but I don't want to draft a running back in the first round. They would have looked real dumb, right? They would have looked real dumb. And that's exactly how Dallas is going to look. We already looked dumb once. And I was sitting here screaming it. You guys know it. I was sitting here screaming it. What are we doing? Go get Derrick Henry. Go get somebody. Oh, no. We got Rico Dowdle and Zeke, and we'll be good when we got good. We got Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton. The line's going to be better. And shut up, bro. And before the team was injured, we got smoked by the Ravens. We got smoked by the Saints. We got destroyed by Detroit Lions. All that we were healthy. So what's the excuse there? Because Deron Bland wasn't playing? Like, what? Is that what we're going to say? Get out of here, bro. I've been arguing with people all day about this, and it's irritating. If it reminds me in 2016, and really 2015, I was sitting at school all day arguing with everybody about it. No, we need to get Ezekiel Elliott. That guy will change our team. We need to get him. Yes, he declined after some years, but that was just a really, really bad situation. But even then, we should have won a Super Bowl with rookie Zeke. between 2016 and 2018, we did not win a Super Bowl because we picked Zeke. We had a chance to win a Super Bowl because we had Zeke. Everyone who knew football in those years was saying Dallas needs to give Ezekiel Elliott the football. Why do they keep passing? All the time. They were pass. And then when it was too late, they started giving him the ball and he'd get over 130 yards. No, that man should have broke the rookie rushing record. The Cowboys have always had issues with this. And it's like the most obvious thing. Steven and Jerry sit back and laugh at us and give some stupid, narcissistic comment trying to make themselves seem correct. The fans are sick of it. What we're supposed to be doing, all Cowboy fans are supposed to get an Ashton Jeanty jersey and wear it around Dallas, wear it in that stadium, wear it on the tours. Show Jerry, oh, hold on. Cha-ching. If we get Ashton Jeanty, we're going to sell more merchandise. We got to do something to trick this guy into getting the guy we need. We have to somehow trick Jerry Jones because this is just ridiculous. It's so scary. Imagine we actually draft him. Imagine we actually draft Ashton Jeanty. What happens when you draft Ashton Jeanty? The whole locker room changes. The whole team changes. We need a stud. Now, if there was another Zach Martin sitting there on the board or another Tyron Smith or a Micah Parsons sitting there on the board, I might be ready to hear out your argument. But even then, no. Ashton Jeanty all the way. The run game is very, 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 very important in football. There's no other way to put it. The best teams in the league right now run the football. Ashton Jeanty needs to be a Dallas Cowboy. If you say opposite, you don't know what you're talking about. And as far as Mike McCarthy, this channel might as well be called Fire Mike McCarthy because I've made about 5 videos about it. Seriously. Let me see who leads the league in penalties. Watch this. Let's do a little test here. NFL leader in penalties. Let's see. Oh, shocker. We're top 5. Who knew? Who knew we were top 5? I did. We're first since Mike McCarthy became the coach. Let me ask you guys a question. A team that has discipline, are they hopping on Twitter as soon as the game's over? Are they worrying about fans taking pictures of them while they lift? No. Do you lead the NFL in penalties if you have discipline? No. I know high school coaches that could put together a better practice than Mike McCarthy. You've got Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb and all these different players having to come together and say, oh, if we get penalties, we're going to have to run. We're going to run. We're going to find out a punishment. Isn't that the coach's job? Isn't that up to the coach? Isn't the coach supposed to set that culture, set that standard? But he doesn't. He's that really cool babysitter who you love when he comes over because you know you can do whatever you want. And the players, oh, yeah, we want Mike. I want Mike back. Guess what? You ask those kids if they want to lose their favorite babysitter. Of course not. Why not? Because they don't want discipline. They want to have fun and do what they want. It's natural for them to want him to stay. The fans, we're sick of them. We're sick of them, the play calling, all of that. And who have they beat that was a good team on this little December push? What, Washington, because they overlooked us? Who have we beaten? It's too little, too late, bro. And this season is a prolonged version of what the Cowboys do on a game-to-game basis. We start out the game, trash. First quarter, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Second quarter, field goal, 3 and out, 3 and out, field goal. going to half down 14-6. And you know I'm right. You know I'm right. Going to the half down 14-6, come out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out. Now we're in a big hole. And then at about that 2-minute mark in the third quarter, oh, here come the big old mighty Cowboys. Because they realize they're about to lose this game. So now the anticipation and the energy's there. Now everybody wants to wake up and play football. But they don't come into the football game like that. Why don't they come into the football game like that? Because their head coach is soft. He's soft. It's that simple. He's a good coach, just not for the Cowboys. Okay? Just because someone's good at driving a Honda Accord, are you just going to let them drive your Lamborghini? Why not? They can drive. They're a good driver. Because driving a Honda Accord is different than driving a Lamborghini. You need to know what it's like to have the supercar, the speed, the attention, the things that come with owning a Lamborghini. It's the same with the Dallas Cowboys. Just because a guy has won a Super Bowl does not mean he should just be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He can't handle the noise. He can't handle the pressure. He can't get the players to lock in. He doesn't even know how to handle the shine of the Cowboys. So how are the players supposed to not come home and go straight to their phones and be tweeting at people? They're more used to the fame than McCarthy is. McCarthy was in Green Bay. He's got no idea what it's like having to handle a team that's got the fame of the Dallas Cowboys, and it's evident. How many times have we seen penalties on kickoffs? It's sickening. And I'm so fired up about it because I'm starting to see enough people on the Jeanty train where I feel like I have a lot of people on my side. I feel like we're becoming the majority, but we need every single Cowboy fan preaching for Jeanty, because if they don't get Jeanty and people are still, oh, I like this pick. Oh, we didn't need a running back. It was a good pick. Then nothing's going to change. Nothing will change. You guys are the fans that Stephen A hates, because Stephen A Smith, he's been speaking some truth about Dallas. He's low-key a Cowboys fan, because the Cowboys, look, I suffered from this. On my radio show, we were supposed to have a segment called Cowboy Corner, and it stopped after about week 4. Why? Because it literally was bad radio. There was nothing to talk about with them. They were playing boring. They could at least lose exciting. The games were boring. The team was boring. They were sucking. No one cared about them. Stephen A. Smith is suffering the same problems. The more in the news the Dallas Cowboys are, is the more in the news Stephen A. Smith is. The bigger the fan base coming at Stephen A. Smith for the Cowboys, the better for him. But this year, we were all like, I mean, he stopped making the videos because it was just so boring and so lame. So he wants the Cowboys to be relevant so that his page has more traffic. First Take gets more viewers. Do you remember the days of saying, oh, I can't wait to turn on First Take. I can't wait to see what Stephen A's got to say now. He likes that. Everybody in the content business likes that. Ashton Jeanty not only makes us relevant, but it's box office. That's all the offseason would be about, is Jeanty in Dallas, Jeanty in Dallas, Jeanty in Dallas. And not just because of his name, because it's going to be a problem. And I think we're closing in on it. I think it's got to be crystal clear. What if they mess this up again? What if he just passes on them? I promise I'll delete my page. You take how upset I was last year about not getting a running back and multiply that by 30. I would be pissed if we don't get Ashton Jeanty. Now, if he's gone, he's gone. If someone grabs him, someone grabs him. Okay, then you go a wide receiver. Maybe the Arizona guy, maybe Luther Burden. He might not be there. If he's not there, I'll take the edge guy from Penn State. Okay. I'll take some other star if Jeanty's gone. Then none of this matters if he gets taken. But if that man is on that board and Dallas doesn't take him, I will pick up my phone. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to go to account settings. And I'm going to click deactivate account. Is what's going to happen. The lesson of the day is 12 and 29 without a 100-yard rusher. I mean, that stat shuts everybody up. That stat right there it makes this a done deal. Okay. As far as the smartest option, I don't care about what teams should do with running backs and whether they should do this. And I don't care about any of that. I promise I don't. Look at our team. How is our team constructed? I don't care about the offensive line being bad right now. I don't care about any of that. Right now, Dak Prescott needs 100-yard rushers. 12 and 29. 64 and 17 with a 100-yard rusher. You know how good that record is? 64 and 17. I'll take 64 and 17. I'll gladly take it. And you got people still saying we shouldn't grab the guy. Absolute blasphemy, and I can't believe it. And normally I wouldn't care this much, but like the fans matter. The fans matter to the Cowboys more than they do other teams because our owner clearly only cares about money. We need to start buying Jeanty jerseys, wearing them around Dallas. I'm serious. It doesn't have to. You don't have to go get the $100 jersey. Just get a regular blue T-shirt, the Boise State T-shirt, Ashton Jeanty shirt, and start wearing that all around Dallas. They can't mess this up. They cannot mess this up. You get Ashton Jeanty in the first round. You get your receiver in the second round. The defense has been looking perfectly fine. Even versus the Eagles, what was that, 2 days ago? I know Micah was getting made fun of. The defense looked fine. They were playing stiff defense and then gave up a big play. Stiff defense gave up a big play. Deron Bland just got back. Yeah, we could maybe go corner in the second round. I wouldn't be mad at it. But you guys are really sitting back, and as Cowboys fans, I'm disappointed. We're sitting back watching the Eagles celebrate having a guy run for over 2,000 yards. And you have the Heisman runner-up, the best running back in college, possibly sitting there for you to grab. And you got guys like, oh, we got other needs, like D-tackle and linebackers. You tell me which defensive tackle is going to come in and fix the whole D-line. You tell me which linebacker is going to come in and become prime Luke Kuechly or Fred Warner. You show me which guy in the draft can go pull that off. Because I can show you a running back that can come in and wreak havoc on the league. And he plays for Boise State. I can show you that guy. I know he exists. I know he's here. He's around. You guys are just talking. What it is it's people who haven't played football, don't understand football concepts, and you're trying to sound like Colin Cowherd and Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. Leave that job to them. They're not Cowboys fans. We know our team. Talking about D tackles. The record is not Dak Prescott record when the Cowboys get 4 sacks. Dak Prescott record when the O-line gets a certain amount of pancakes. No, it's Dak Prescott when they rush for over 100 yards. He's 64 and 17. You know what that win percentage is? Let's take a look. My phone's acting up. I can't look it up. But you know it's a high percent. 64 and 17. That's like, okay, here we go. Now it's working. Let's see here. That's 73%. That's 73% win percentage. That's well over 500, obviously. Dak wins 73% of his games with a 100-yard rusher. And you got guys saying don't get Jeanty. Yes, I'm going to beat the dead horse because I don't think it's I don't for some reason people don't understand. And I'm like, okay, so at this point these people are trolling, or you don't know football, or you're an Eagles fan, which could also count as trolling. Absolutely ridiculous. And then you're talking about Keith McCarthy. He's lost the locker room. Actually, he has, but he hasn't. They like him because he's a cool dad. Ain't no one scared of Mike McCarthy in there. Ezekiel Elliott missing meetings and stuff. You think that happens with a disciplined coach? Of course not. Of course it doesn't happen with a disciplined coach. Their culture sucks. Michael Irvin said it best. Their culture is terrible. They got no culture. They got no discipline. Everyone wants to run around and do their own thing. They want it to be fun. They're acting like the Showtime Lakers. They're acting like Lob City Clippers. Carrying themselves around like they're Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors when the guys were just sitting reading books during pregame, not really worried about a thing. You guys aren't there yet, bro. You need a new coach. You need to add a running back, a corner, and a wide receiver. I dare Dallas to pass up on Ashton Jeanty. Jerry Jones is going to need extra security. People are going to come. They're going to try to find his house. They're going to try to burn down AT&T Stadium. It's going to get real reckless. They're going to be throwing stuff on the field when they see him. I'm telling you, it would be, you guys can try to be football savants all you want. If Ashton Jeanty is on that board, and the Dallas Cowboys pass up on him, an earthquake's going to shake the whole country. It'd be worse than the Lakers not signing Phil Jackson and going with Mike D'Antoni. It'll be as bad as Dallas benching Tony Romo for Dak Prescott. I hope I hit a nerve. Absolutely ridiculous. It's a shame I have to sit here and speak common sense into the camera, but I'm glad I have the ability to do so because I can't type anymore. I'm tired of trying to convince people that the sky's blue. You know what I mean? Dak is 76 and 46 total games. And he's 64 and 17 when we run for over 100 yards. That is all I have to say. That is all I have to rant about. I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. 2024 was awesome for me. It was very, very challenging. It was very, very busy. But I can say I've never in my life made such consistent progress with anything as much as I did in 2024. I've never stayed locked in for such a long time with anything than I did in 2024. I got to do so many cool things in 2024. I got promoted to full time here at the radio station in 2024. I was given a producing job on KNML, Sports Animal, and KKOB News. I was given my own radio show in 2024 on Sunday mornings. I have started a broadcasting career in 2024. I've done some basketball games. I've done some football games for ProView. You know, I just got done hosting a full week of the opening drive from 7 to 10 a.m. The #1 sports show in New Mexico for 3 years straight. I did that. I got to host it. You know, and now I've got people that call in and say they like when I'm on. So I'm building the fan base. I got to meet Brian Urlacher. I got to meet Nota Begay. Two just big-time pro athletes. You know, It's been a good year. Physically elevated every day, no matter how tired I was. I was in the gym. And on the days I was tired, I went harder in the gym. Um, you know, it really was a year of a back against the wall, pressure's on. What are you gonna do? You know, you're being tested. Your manhood's being tested. How are you going to handle it? You're going to crash out? You're going to let the enemy get into your skin? Or are you going to put yourself to work and do what you're supposed to do? And that's what I did. That's what I did. I kept my head down. I stayed working, and God kept blessing me the whole way, and He's still blessing me. Every week is better than the last. Like this most recent week, I had the most progress that I've had any week this year. It was a big week for me. And I expect 2025 to be the same way. I'll just keep elevating. So I hope everyone had a great year. I hope your 2025 is better. I'm going to make sure mine is. I'm going to make sure I'm grinding. I'm going to make sure I keep my head down. Nothing's going to knock me off this path. Nothing's going to knock me off this path. It's been a long time coming. It's finally here. I'm just getting started. In this radio business, you got to put in your hours. You got to do the terrible hours that no one else wants to do. And you got to host a show by yourself. Fred Slow, he's one of the greatest filler talkers you'll ever meet in your life. He could talk to himself on a microphone effortlessly. And even he says, if I had to do a 3-hour show by myself, I would die. And I did it for 5 days. And a lot of times on the weekend show Tailgate Talk, I did that by myself as well because my co-host got hurt. So I really put the work in. And for the first time, I don't say it in a cocky way because I'm blessed and it was fun to get to do a lot of those things, but it was hard. It was not easy. I wasn't going out drinking, partying. I couldn't. I got to be up early on Sunday mornings. So yeah, 2024 was awesome for me. It's a true Kobe year for me. 24, RIP Kobe. Found out a lot about myself. I hope you guys did too. But yeah, man. McCarthy, get out. Ashton Jeanty, come on in. Fan base, be smart. 64-17. 64-17. Zay Talks is out. Please like and subscribe. Also, tune in to Tailgate Talk on the weekends from 8 to 10 a.m. I'm going to start getting those videos back up on YouTube when me and DC, my co-host Dale Cornelius, we get done filming our show. I'm going to start uploading that as well. But if you watch this long, thank you so much. I hope I could talk some sense into you guys. And yeah, that's about it. So we're going to get ready to wrap up 2024, and we're going to get ready for 2025. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. Zay Talks out.